question for Steve. Do we have ever offered storage space for the public or anything?
Out at the airport?
Any place?
You know, we had to get away from that. We were doing that
Didn't we do that?
out at the airport, and what happened, we get into security issues out there.
I mean, even at the port, I mean, if we ever thought of, I mean, we have space available, I mean, do we want to go into that mark? I mean, I guess that's a question I'm asking.
Not really, like boat storage or anything like
I
that.
don't know, I mean, yeah, it is.
We've kind of kicked some of that around, but I don't know, Wade, we really haven't.
Yeah, we really haven't ever looked at the indoor locker, indoor storage, or indoor boat type situation.
I'm just saying like Lowe's,
Focused
yeah.
on more of the commercial.
I mean, if Lowe's need the space to store stuff or, you know, whatever, I mean, Walmart or any of those places.
We did have
Remember
Walmart.
Walmart.
Walmart at one time when they were doing the remodel here.
Sure.
They were in building 5. No, they were in building 4. Right, John? Yeah.
That's
We don't-
right. That's what we did for a while too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, on a more commercial basis, but not private individuals as much.
Do they, I mean, do we advertise that at all to them, or anybody?
No. I don't know that that's an area we wanna get into.
I don't think so.
That's why we.
No, I'm just asking the question, I mean, what we done or not done, whatever, if somebody has an idea that you got all the space, and why don't we look at it for markets, whatever, but if, historically, we don't feel that's the way to go at this point in time.
When you take the airport, and you give you a choice example, you've got to have an airplane to get one of them on commercial places. We got, when I was chairman of the board, we got into the crossfire with the buses in the hangar, the big old hangar we had. We had the school buses and stuff. We run into problems. And you put some of your funding in jeopardy when you're using the airport different than what the scope is really called for. One guy wanted to rent it and make a machine shop. We said, no, we should in other areas. Another guy wanted to rent it to have, just for you to work on planes out there, have a mechanic come out. But I don't think it's an area we would really want to get into in
Well, you
renting
got-
boat spaces or.
You got two things too, you got more security now, before these guys approach it. I think the port is out for just about everything other than what you do, because you don't really wanna tie up any of your buildings for small things, I mean, you may have a big thing coming down the pipe, you just don't know. But the airport, you jeopardize more, I think you do, I think you jeopardize your funding.
Question somebody asked me.
Our security plan
Yeah.
wouldn't permit that, but, it's possible we could do something.
Short term.
If that were
Yeah.
the policy.
We could do an emergency short-term thing. Long-term cost.
I think someone that wants to rent or store their boat is looking to shake hands with someone paying $250, $500, whatever, not enter into a lease agreement, provide $1 million, $3 million liability insurance. Then you get complications with multiple people in one building and damage and everything else, so you open up a whole can of worms, so that's why it has to be done.
Well, Wade actually gave some questions different way, the storage for dry goods, whatever, can go into other buildings that have industrial
No,
parks.
so,
Yeah,
yep.
that was, I think, so we can do that, right, or whatever.
Yep.
Okay. We have a motion? Hmm?
Fred made a motion, Steve.
Oh, Fred made a motion? Okay, thank you. Have a second, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Over on page 11, item B7, came up through the facilities committee earlier today. This is a donation of the ARF, former ARF vehicle. That's the aircraft rescue and firefighting vehicle at the airport. It's a good vehicle, but due to FAA regulations and its age, it can no longer serve as an aircraft rescue and firefighting vehicle. It does have value to the fire department, and we have received a letter from Hamilton Volunteer Fire Department requesting the authority consider donating the truck to the department for their use.
I make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
I have one quick question. Has any other fire department, local fire departments around, have they asked anything about this truck or anything?
Not to my knowledge.
One thing about the Hamilton Fire Department, don't forget they're our first responder. They are our guys.
I don't have a,
No, I'm just saying,
with this.
we wasn't putting this out like, you know, they came to us and asked us about this stuff. And that's, I mean, I'm not looking, I wouldn't wanna put it over for bids and all that.
I'm just trying to, okay.
Well, let's put that.
No, I'm just,
Can I
no,
ask a
what
question?
I'm just,
Yeah, two
I just wanna make sure that we don't get ourselves into a position where
City lines.
somebody else comes to us and said, we didn't know about this, how come we didn't know about it? That's all. I support it 100%. I'm just saying, you know, we have to be aware that that could come up.
Yeah, this is a little different than our normal surplus property, because generally we designate something surplus and then we put it out to bid. In this case, I think the Hamilton Department was aware that we were bidding a new fire department and submitted a letter and asked us to act on it. That's the difference here in this case. There was also one other thing I forgot to mention in this setting, but mentioned in the facilities setting. There are no FAA penalties for disposition and discipline. That was important to mention. I forgot about that.
Would you like
I'll-
Augsburg to be, would
Pardon?
you like Augsburg to be?
No, I just wanna make sure that we're gonna be, you know,
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things here, when you're saying who is our responder, who is really gonna be the first responder.
I just wanna make sure that we don't get ourselves into a position where we're gonna, you know, take some heat because we didn't let the other departments know about it, that's all I'm saying. Okay?
Well, let's ask a question here. I mean, is there gonna be hard feelings with Ogdensburg, okay, because they weren't notified of the situation?
I wouldn't think so, they got the brand new truck.
Well.
I'll move this.
Okay.
What's already moved?
It's already been moved and seconded.
Moved and seconded.
Need a vote.
Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Everyone else, thank you.
Okay, agenda item C1 over on page 13 is approving a release agreement with Bookmont. And this is it's a smaller space in the Bridgeport Authority building floor, as you see over on page 14. Interesting company, September 1st, 2013 through August 31st, 2014, at the rates, terms, and conditions before you. And I would like to make a special comment on this one. This particular space has been vacant for pretty much forever. I would like to specifically comment, compliment you, John, on being able to find the right customer for that space.
I'll move it.
Second.
Sure, move it in.
Well, what's left? We raised it, we give them the flowers and everything else.
Any further comments, questions, please? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All the ayes.
On page 15, agenda item C2, this is a supplemental lease agreement with the RSUs for additional storage in the 9th industrial building of the rates, terms, and conditions you see before you.
Is this an increase in space from before?
It's the same area.
Same here?
Yeah.
Good.
We just passed this resolution at
No.
No. I think the same one, isn't it?
No, let's see.
I'll make the motion.
We got more shoes over there.
I'll make that motion.
Steve, second, thank you. Doug, you second, or Gavin?
Yes.
Gavin, second. Any questions, comments? All in favor, signify by
Yes.
saying aye.
Fred's still on the truck.
On page 16, agenda item C3 is a lease agreement with AV Technology Group. This is, excuse me, for additional space. Business terms and conditions to be approved. The map is on the following page, on page 17.
All in space.
Oh.
What building's that in?
Building one.
Summer recreation.
This is a renewal. They started out with it's fabrics and gaskets for, furnaces, it's heat resistant, and, they also have a small shipping business in there.
So where the lines are is what they're,
Yes.
I'm just looking at the man. Where all them lines are is what they're gonna get?
Yes, those,
I make the motion. Keep going.
I'll second.
Any further questions or comments? Steve?
well,
No, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm just
Well,
asking.
we want to hear what you have to say.
No, I was unsure of, the space that was being rented.
Okay.
I've seen something different, that's all.
You came prepared tonight, so I'm gonna go with you. Anything you gotta say?
Try not to disappoint.
Try not to tip anybody off from now on.
I won't tip them off.
That's for the
Can't tell too many secrets.
It's in the secret.
Oh.
We gotta
I
know.
think that's the problem, it's on the next page.
it's always nice to have a question.
Answer your question.
That's all, one's bigger than the other. If I'm not mistaken, that would be the
I
same
know, I am
space.
just waiting for you.
It is, it's the
Any
same
further
space.
questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Agenda item C4, over on page 18, is a lease agreement with Sega. This is for 210 square feet in industrial building 1 Commerce Park, with rates, terms, and conditions.
Colored maps last time. And you are here? That's why I do the hashes.
It's like at the mall.
Yeah.
John, just tell me one thing about this here. I mean, you got $3 fee for utilities, what's that? Look at the switch, you shut it off?
Pretty much. It's just included in there, same way with this building, just to show that the price reflects the cost of utilities as well. We thought about that, and it's part of it.
So that $3 is already in the 11.89?
Yes.
Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
I make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Victor, do you second?
Second.
Doug? Any further questions, comments? I do. You know, when I go back to, a while back, John, and I go back to your report on page 10, and we look at all this vacancy, whatever, certain buildings, whatever, and obviously we try to get to 100% in each building, whatever. One of the questions that we had was how we shift people into, we have, the vacancies a little different than we have. Let's just say we got, in building 6, we got 5,200 square foot available. How do we make those decisions where we start to fill up one building and then go on to the next? You see, I mean,
It depends on the customer and what they're looking for. I mean, they might absolutely need a loading dock, so we're taking a building 1. They might need, office areas, so taking a building 6, and they might need, more space, so we're taking a bigger building that has more space, so it just depends on the customer. And really leave it up to them. I mean, what space do you want?
so when you play show and tell,
Yeah.
they look at whatever.
Yeah.
Certain buildings have different price values.
Generally, yes.
Okay, so, I mean, so I see different prices, so it has,
Yeah.
each building has a different value because of what it offers and what,
The age of the
Our costs are
building
that
and,
building.
yep,
okay,
yep.
thank you. Any further questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Okay, a brief explanation about the agenda item C5, C6, and other such matters, because they all relate together. This, you haven't seen these before. This relates to the foreign trade zone. There's a couple of things that we need to do procedurally. First thing that we need to do is approve a generic foreign trade zone site operations agreement. That's agenda item C5. Then we need to approve the schedule for the foreign trade zone number 19. And the reason we're doing this is because other such matters, E1, which is ACO brands that wants to use the zone. So that's the overall process of these next 3 resolutions and how and why we're doing it in this order. We're very fortunate that the ACO section, it was supposed to come next month, it actually with that being said, agenda item C5 over on page 20 is the generic foreign trade zone site operations agreement. This was prepared by our foreign trade zones expert. It is a generic agreement that grants the zone operator the authority to utilize the zone as a foreign trade zone, subject to the terms, conditions, agreements, and restrictions that are set forth in the agreement and in accordance with the standards of operation required by Customs and Border Protection. And our expert, for those new on the board, you have not met them yet, for those on the board that have been here a while, that's Miller. I'd recognize that.
I didn't realize how much there is to this, the paperwork, the record keeping. There's a lot to this.
So,
And that's the importance of the agreement is that it shifts, the grantees, the authorities' responsibility in terms of over to an operator or a user, and it makes them responsible for the day-to-day operations of it, so we're giving them the authority to do that. All we're doing is, we're the administrator of the zone, we have the authority.
We're not the grantor.
We're the grantee, but we're not the operator or the user,
Okay.
so this
It's
is.
different than what it is. Okay.
Yep.
I didn't understand what a kitting operation is.
a kitting operation means recognize that it's other names like a pick and pack operation. That's, take this component, put it in a box or assemble it, and out the door.
That's a kitting operation, okay. Is that what Berkman does?
No, that would more describe, some of the broker's activities, the broker center, some of those type of.
We haven't had a pick back then, have we?
Yeah, we've got 3 or 4 that are doing, Derringer does it to a limited
That's what you
degree,
call it?
yeah. The corporate center, Strader Ferris is into that business a little bit, he's trying to grow his business in that area. I'm not sure if FedEx does or not. And, the Ogdensburg Shipping Center is doing that as well. And downtown you got Crow Smith, he's into that a little bit as well. So this is just the generic agreement, it limits the grantee's participation in the everyday operations of the zone. Places the operation of the zone site under the supervision of the zone operator. The operator has to set up a foreign trade zone operations manual, which is what we did for the wind turbine component. It's usually a very big thick book like this that describes every activity, every form they provide to U.S. Customs. They'll do that once their application is approved by the committee. They're responsible for all merchandise entering or leaving the zone. U.S. Customs forms, they're responsible to file the annual report. It establishes an application fee for $3,000, an activation fee for $2,000, an annual fee for $5,000, and they have to put a customs bond in place. They indemnify us, and it becomes effective after the zone approves their application. So this is what we would take to someone like a Apple Brands or anybody else that wants to use the zone. So if you approve it, then we'll have it. Say this is our standard agreement, fill in the blanks, and come back to the board for final.
This is an updated one here.
Well, we've never had one of these before. This is brand new, because the zone has not been, with the exception of the 2018 project, has not been active.
I'm just wondering if this document that we're reading from with the money prices, as it says, June 12, 1985, has applied and all that. I'm just wondering if this is an updated agreement that we use.
Yes,
Go
yes.
Page
Yes, it
50.
is.
Go page 50. Or page 11.
I went,
Property ownership. I'm trying to explain something there. No, I didn't know we were on a timetable for this. Did that happen every 5 years? We have to activate?
I'm sorry, say where?
we had
Page
that,
50 of our report, page 50.
Okay.
It says property
Yeah,
ownership.
we have the right to deactivate it if
Right,
it sits
but does
vacant
that-
for 5 years. So if they aren't using it, we have the right, the grantee has the right to deactivate it.
But do we do
have anybody using it right now.
No, but is that part of the
We would.
formality?
Yeah.
We keep the zone active each year when we do that $500 bond thing.
That's what I'm asking.
Zone.
Yeah.
Because we didn't do it prior to the windmill project. Prior to that company that wanted to use it, we had to reactivate.
That's correct, we had to reactivate, you're right, I forgot about that, we had to reactivate it.
And that's
because
why I
the
was
bond
asking
had
if
to
this
be-
is in compliance.
What you don't want.
Yes.
That's my question. Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion that we pass the resolution.
Second.
Second? Any further questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Who seconded that motion?
Doug.
We're over on page 34, agenda item C6. This is a foreign trade zone schedule for the zone itself.
Pretty straightforward, it's a description of the FTZ. Just to let you know here. People who aren't familiar with it, those are the actual boundaries of the foreign trade zone. So the port of Ogdensburg is part of the foreign trade zone, it's 31 acres. And then this section of Commerce Park is in the foreign trade zone. So not everything, but parts of it, and this is 39 acres. Then, as you remember, we went with the alternative site framework, which allowed us to expand our service area to include all of St. Lawrence County. And the benefit of that was to reduce the time it takes for a company like ACO to get approved in a shorter time period. Instead of doing a boundary amendment and saying, okay, you know, ACO wants to be in over here, that takes 6 months. Now they can do this application and they can be approved in 30 days. So that was a wise decision that we made last year, and even though it took had to actually go to the state legislature.
Seemed like it took
for
forever to get
approval.
through, but that 60 miles, 90-minute component is essential. That will allow us to expand the port's reach, which is what the foreign trade zone is designed.
I make a motion to approve the resolution.
I'll second.
Second, any comments, discussion? Those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to take the next item out of order because it does relate to foreign trade zones and jump right over to agenda item
Where we get it?
This is a
Okay, just hand it out, right?
separate handout that was handed out.
In the Cesspool thing?
We just received this from ACO Brand this afternoon. John, would you like to walk through this?
Yep, this is a copy of their application to become part of the foreign trade zone through the, doing a minor boundary amendment through the alternative site framework as a usage-driven site. In other words, they have a facility, it's in our service territory, they want that to be included in the foreign trade zone, they want to activate it. This application goes to the Executive Secretary of the Foreign Trade Zones Board in Washington. They provided it to us and it requested a concurrence letter from the grantee that would be submitted with this application, and that's what we're looking for, approval from the board for Wade to sign. And a copy of the concurrence letter is attached.
Is this a letter they want Wade to sign here?
Yes.
Yes.
So this resolution comes together?
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yep.
I make the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, sorry.
Discussion, any further questions, comments?
Just a concluding comment. ACO wouldn't be doing what they're doing and expanding the way they're expanding here in Ogdensburg if it wasn't for the foreign trade zone. This is a very unique tool that we have here in the industrial park, and it's very good to see it applied to the benefit of workers here in Ogdensburg. We do.
In sign this. You have it on the web.
I didn't put it on that.
Well, I agree with what you said. It's wholeheartedly very, very important. Any further comments, questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
important because, not only is it, a new product for fertilizer, this is also a bagging operation. This extends our reach into an area that, we haven't been in before, but has the potential to expand and create jobs. I liken it to the fact when we first started the conveyor operation up there on the wall, we originally did that with an agricultural conveyor buried in a pit. We're doing something very similar here. This is a new foray for us. We'll figure out how to do it, and at the end of the day, we'll get better at it, and hopefully put more people to work as a result. So I'd like to, again, hats off to John for landing this business with this customer.
Anything else? I don't know.
Huh?
I'll move that motion.
Second.
I'll ask the question. Fertilizer or whatever, I mean, obviously there's some safety procedures in regards to this product, whatever. Have we gone through all those procedures?
Steve and I talked about that, and we'll follow whatever the instructions are on the MSDS sheets as far as safety, whether gloves have to be worn, a mask, and things like that.
Okay, so.
What would, not that we're doing, the cost, you know, it's an area of concern with me, the cost of doing that, the safety issues that come in and handling this stuff, and the proper equipment and all that stuff. I mean, have we really looked into that area that we really want to, I mean, you're gonna use longshoremen, I imagine, on this, right?
Yes.
So, you know, I don't know just what's, I'm concerned, I just throw a caution myself. Is there a lot of safety and health issues here that we should, you know, is this being done anywhere else?
Yeah.
If we didn't do this, this would be done up in Canada, so we, de facto, we pulled some jobs across the board.
It's bagged all over the place, I believe.
I'm just wondering, John, you know, you know, you're handling chemicals, you're handling the fertilizer, we're handling this stuff, you know, and I'm concerned about it. I have some concerns, I don't know these prices even fit that. It looks like you got bagging, $5.96, tell me what that is.
I made the calculations on these. We determined how much time it would take, the equipment needed. These would be bagged in super sacks with a hopper, the material dumped with a loader into the hopper. Steve made the estimates about the manpower needed and the time that would be required to do it. And these calculations are based on all that information. A lot of it is estimates, because we haven't done it before. But we questioned each other, we had some really healthy conversations about it in this room, and we all, I think at the end, ended up comfortable with where we were.
I'm just worried about the safety and health of all this stuff, handling this material. You know, you've got the number down there, $5.96 for bag and storage and all. You know, I'm very concerned that, I wanna make sure we're making the right decision here. We don't get hit with somebody that's got now something wrong with their lungs, because we didn't have this and that. You know, there's a lot of concern here for me on this particular issue. Now, most of the stuff that we've handled down here at the port has always been the other guy doing it. Now, we're going into this situation, you know, and so how many people is gonna be needed to do this, and where's this equipment money gonna come from? We gotta buy all this stuff?
That's being provided by him. My V6 agronomy.
Well, I don't wanna stop, progress, but I'm not comfortable with this resolution the way it is. I think there's a lot of unknowns here, and I really have a concern for the safety and health of the workers down there, without knowing just what goes into this thing, because you're gonna be breathing this stuff. And, you know, it's the ventilation in these buildings, you're dumping stuff into a hopper, and there's a lot of dust, and chemicals that's gonna be coming out of this. So that's all I'm worried about. So.
Well, why don't you explain something to the sports gambling and all that stuff? And that's what happens here?
Yeah, from an MSDS standpoint, I mean, there's, like Fred says, there's a respiratory issue. We do this on the bridge, we have a whole program there where we worry about respiratory and hearing, but you can provide coveralls, you can provide, goggles, and, you know, the normal PPE, personal protective equipment, and that's, generally, you can reuse that stuff, so that, there's not a lot of cost in that, but the one issue I kind of, with Fred, is that maybe we need to look at, setting up a respiratory program. And what we do in the bridge is, we have baseline testing every year of our people, and then they go monthly. So we have hearing, and we set this up 10 years ago, and basically just go to, and they do this
Testing
testing.
for
So
lab,
there must be standards in how this is
Oh,
handled.
sure, no, yeah,
Is OSHA involved with this?
Yes, they will. And, I mean, they,
Yes.
personally, they won't, but it's our responsibility to provide that protection for them. And I feel it's just how you set it up. If you do it correctly, it won't be an issue. But,
The data
in
sheets
taking,
are categorized, or do we keep
yes,
track of that?
yeah, we have,
Okay.
we have those, but, it'll make recommendations. Now, if there's a certain type of mask that's required, you'll need to do an initial test that says you're able to wear that mask. So there may be
Yes,
a
because
breathing
somebody has
test
to breathe
initially,
through that.
in that, and what they can say, basically what that says is, somebody, whoever, a technician or a medical person would say, you are able to wear those masks. Some people with breathing may say, oh, I'm fine, they put that on, they find out it's an issue. So those things we're aware of, and I don't see a lot of
Let me
people.
ask you this, and not to interrupt you. Is there any way possible that we could get safety requirements that are in Canada that this company is now doing, because they're already doing it there? Can we get a copy of their safety procedures that they have to follow there,
Yeah,
and what
sure.
they need for protection?
I'm sure they have one as a
Can we
company.
get that?
Yeah, and
And then have, like I say, somebody look it over, and.
yeah, and our standard will be higher. I mean, will be
Yeah, it's gonna be a
equal or
place to
higher.
start.
And I found that once you start that way, and you get everybody involved in that, it may be tough at first, but once they get involved in that, you're better off for it.
I just have a question here, because I worked in the feed mill when I was a kid. Maybe some of you have. And I unloaded feed carts, 100-pound bags, and when you throw them, the powder and the dust went. Well, let me tell you something. It wasn't a nice thing to do, yes, that's right, you did a lot of coughing and a lot of acting. I just wanna make sure the authority is protected, and all the safety means that this company's asking us to do. You know, I see a gray area that I got concerned with. And as board members, when you pass something like this here, and somebody comes back and says, well, you never asked these questions, how would you ever know? That's why I'm asking. So, whatever the safety and health procedures are in that plant, wherever they're coming from, we should at least have a copy of that, see what it fits. If we're okay, then, you know, I have no problem with this. I just wanna make sure the safety and health is, I don't want one of my members down there saying that now he's got problems as long as because of this is why it was.
No, we'll protect them.
Let me make a suggestion here, a modification to the resolution, something that says the authority shall handle this product consistent with MSDS, requirements.
I wanna see what their standards and rules are over there.
Ours
They have
would be-
OSHA over there as well as we do. They have a better safety record in Canada than the United States does. I've been there and done that.
You put it right in the resolution and it's there.
But you're only going by what the procedures say. We don't know what they are. And I'm not sure that my CFO here is gonna agree with these numbers if he sees a big move there on safety and health issues. These numbers could change tremendously.
Well, I tell you what, I see this as a one-year agreement. And we have the access to find out if this is something that we wanna continue to do or not.
It'll actually be a 2 or 3 month operation, it'll be,
That's it.
yeah.
Always done and clean and whatever.
Yeah.
You know, that's fine, and we can find out exactly what we got and we don't have. I mean, it's something that it's not the
I
same.
don't have that problem as long as
No.
I get the safety and health.
Yeah.
My people are
Well,
gonna be working
we'll
on
do
it.
that.
Just to
Don't care if it's
reassure,
a month or a week.
just to reassure you though, in my head, I'm not too concerned I can set up a program that will take care of those workers that are involved in that. I know what's involved, Fred,
I'm wanna go back to them and say, man, I'm requesting a copy of the safety and
Yeah.
health issues from Canada
And I,
that this company has, what procedures they follow up there in Canada.
The product actually comes from
I don't care where the product
down
comes.
south United
I'm
States.
asking for what we're gonna do here, we got a list of stuff. That's all I'm asking.
As a follow-up item, we will get that and we'll provide that to every member.
Well, those,
Steve, you got that on the?
you have sheets, I'll tell you what,
Steve,
sign them.
you got that on the list?
Yep.
Follow-up item?
Who's gonna be responsible for signing? Steve?
I'm sorry,
Sorry, this part.
Who's gonna be responsible for the sheets?
John will get them from,
He's gonna be
No, but
responsible.
who signs off on it?
You
Who's
will.
gonna sign, you will, right?
yeah, I can set them, I'm not too concerned. If what I think's gonna happen, I can do that,
I've been involved in the deal sheets and, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and if you don't sign them,
Sure.
they'll shut you down ASAP.
yeah,
We'll come in and check you.
okay.
Yes, Karen?
Just a question, Mr. Chairman, maybe for everybody. Is there an urgency, I mean, because it seems like there's some questions all around. Is there urgency of passing this resolution tonight, or could we, until we get that information, could we act on it next meeting, or is there urgency to do it now?
What's the customer schedule on this?
I think we were trying to get it done, I believe the rail cars, all of these. I think he was expecting them this month actually.
Okay, so, okay. Okay, we have a motion?
Doug made a
Oh, Doug made
motion.
it.
Steve seconded. Steve seconded.
All right, I'm just, ahead of my schedule. All right, any further discussion? We had some news tonight. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Mr. Karen?
I'm going no,
Going no?
I don't know the safety and health issues.
Well, we are gonna get those safety things, Mr. Carter, for signature, so be reassured that, and if we need, Mr. Carter, if you want to reconvene, okay, next meeting, whatever, something's wrong here, we can discuss that.
Motion.
So, yes, we got,
That concludes the regular business, Mr. Chairman. There is a need for executive session relative to contract negotiations and matters relating to the appointment of corporation.
I've got one concern here. I mean, I look in front of me, all this paper. There's gotta be a better way in this technology world that we can do something different, that we have to deal with this paper. Is there any other alternatives here that we got, or are we stuck with pounds and pounds of paper?
The only thing I can think of is the iPads.
One alternative, ideal world, what we could do, install wireless in this room, provide everybody with an iPad, take all this information, PDF, put it out there in Google Docs, then you would pull it up at the meeting and be able to look at it online. It would take us a little bit to get there in terms of infrastructure investment and also time. And it would also take a policy shift from the board, because then one of two things, you would either have to prefer to issue an iPad, which you'd have to then comply with our policy, or you could bring your own electronic device and just pull it down from the Google Doc.
So if I brought a laptop, I could do it.
Absolutely.
I mean, we all sit here with that. I mean, I went to a meeting this morning, 3 people sitting there, they got all the stuff on their, on their iPad, whatever, they just, have any paper. And I'm thinking, But, cause then I say, all right, what's the preparation time? What's the preparation time as much as the paper time, material time? That you guys could be doing something else instead of just, I don't know, I mean, that's something you need to think about what you wanna do and how you wanna present this meeting with all this paper and stuff that you do. I don't know.
Is that the pleasure of the board? Would you prefer to go electronic? If so, we
Just,
can
just,
start.
I mean, I'm on the National Board of Directors for USA Hockey, and that's what we do. I mean, because we have reams and reams, and just because of the way the environment is, you have to dot your i's and cross your t's, and then we're talking to everybody that knows all this stuff. You get reams and reams of stuff. And, we're doing the same thing off Google Docs, gives you more time to look at the information too, because it's out there. And we're not leaving here with a box just to carry what you have. And to be honest, Years ago, before we had that, we're taking boxes of paper, and now I got files and files and files, hard files of these things, because it's important stuff, too, so you've got it all out there in Google Docs, and you don't have to do that.
Yeah, then you could pull
Right.
2 meetings ago or last year's meeting.
It's at my fingertips if I wanna find out what happened 4 years ago
Yeah.
in a meeting in
Yeah.
June, things like that.
Right there. I mean, just something to think about, to discuss,
I
you know.
think that's something.
Sounds like there's a discussion that we'd like to head along those lines, we will head along those lines. We'll see about getting the infrastructure installed, and we'll go.
Well, we should go along those lines if it's cost effective.
Right,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that's the first thing we should do, is
Sure,
look
sure.
at it. I don't have a problem with it, at all, but.
We'll prep it, short answer, I'm
It has
not
to
the
be.
school board, we went this way last year, similar size board. We ended up saving $4,000 a year, and that was after the equipment was paid for as part of the.
That's probably material savings, not even talking about job savings.
There's also staff savings, because members of staff won't be wrestling with a copier